Hi, my name's Elizabeth Ball, and this is my novel, Missy Whynaught. It's a coming-of-age story about a girl named Missy whose superpower is in connecting with underdogs and predators, including her perverted giant neighbor, a crack-using naked lady ghost, and her beloved father, whose involvement in sex tourism leads to him knocking up a Cuban teenager. The story follows the adventures she has with these characters and how that informs her sense of self and her understanding of the world around her. I'm now going to read to you an excerpt from chapter 3 called Poverty Hill, which is the road that Missy and her family grew up on. My dog Madonna was buried alive, but that's top secret. No one knows about it except for me, my brother Randall, my mama, and well, half of St. John. But it was a secret from my dad, Pup Whynaught, who thinks she died peacefully of old age in her sleep. Everyone knew Pup could never find out. It would have killed him. I wish it had killed me instead. Here's why. When I was 8, me, Randall, Mama, and our big yellow dog Madonna moved from our downtown apartment in St. John to a little cottage on Poverty Hill, a dirt road off the highway on the way out to the suburbs. Mama said the cottage would be cheaper than our downtown rent. She said the country air would be good for us triplets, which she called us because me, Randall, and Madonna were all born within 11 months of each other. You triplets won't have to worry about the fucking Bible-thumping neighbors or the screaming babies no more, she said. The country air will taste better, and you can go to school where the rich brats from the suburbs go. I can sell Avon anywhere. The rich brats will be better friends than your poor friends downtown, she assured us, because they've got fucking money and stuff. I was good at making friends and always up for an adventure, so I didn't mind moving. I liked the Bible-thumping neighborhoods well enough, even though they were always on my case about being a girl with short hair and calling myself Michael Jackson. On the day we moved, Madonna and I hopped into the back seat of our brown station wagon, and with all the neighbors waving, I squished my lips against the window into hideous shapes as we pulled away. By the time the smears faded, it felt like we had lived on Poverty Hill forever. Ours was the first house after the train tracks, a little white one with black windows and a crooked deck and peeling paint. Being part hound dog, Madonna howled every time she heard the train whistle. On the hour, sometimes all night. That drove Mama crazy, and she didn't know what to do because she loved Madonna, but she also loved the cottage and a good night's sleep. Eventually, the howling in the train became white noise, and she got used to it. It was a joke for us to howl along with Madonna. Anyone would have thought we were a pack of feral mutts that had busted out of the SPCA. I still can't hear a train whistle without lifting my chin towards the moon and letting out my inner dog. The first thing I did at the new house was climb the most enormous pine tree on the lot. While Mama was unloading the car, Randall was playing on his Game Boy, and Madonna was sniffing out rabbits, I reached my Michael Jackson gloved hand over my bare one until I was at the 75-foot peak of the tree. Hey Mama, I hollered down, look at me. Oh, how that scared her. But like Madonna's howling, she got used to that too, because once we found out I had chipmunk genes, there was nothing she could do to keep me out of the trees. That pine tree had a perfect fat branch 3/4 of the way up where I could spend hours reading and spying on the neighbors. A woodpecker had drilled a deep hole where I hid all my secret stuff, like my diary and letters from Pup. The second thing I did after I went up that tree was burst into tears, weeping and wailing as if I'd been stung by a swarm of hornets and was about to fall to my death. All of a sudden, way up in that tree, far from our old apartment, it hit me that Pup would never be able to find us. We hadn't called to tell him we were moving because he didn't have a phone. We hadn't written because he didn't have an address. We hadn't spoken to him for months because he was on some oil rig in the middle of the ocean, making loads of money so we could afford this new cottage. And weren't we the most selfish people in the world? What would happen if he showed up at our old place and found us gone? He would think we'd abandoned him, like that stray cat we used to feed sometimes. Mama wouldn't let us adopt Jackson because she said adopting a black cat was just asking for trouble. We hadn't said a proper goodbye to Jackson either because he was also missing in action the days leading up to our move. Thank you.